Hello, welcome to Gardening at 58 North. So in this video I'd like to show you my giant lily here. So this is a Cardiocrinum giganteum. This is the largest lily in the world. I've been waiting 3 years for mine to bloom, and as you can see it's absolutely huge. So I'm not the best for scale, so I put it in front of my house. I'm 6'5", so I make everything look small, but in the background you can see my front door here, give you a bit of scale. So this plant is absolutely huge. I'll show you the measurement on the screen of how tall it actually is this year, and it actually will grow probably another foot or two in height. So this is a Cardiocrinum giganteum. It's the world's largest lily. This lily comes from the Himalayas. It grows in quite high altitude but in a woodland environment, so it likes a cool, damp, humid environment without much direct sunlight and a sheltered environment. So for me here in Scotland it's quite easy to grow because we have a cool climate. I have to just make sure the wind doesn't break it. So as I say, it's an amazing plant, quite different to most lilies. You can see I've got some lilies here. These are actually tree lilies, so these are pretty much the biggest lilies you can buy that are easily available. So this is the tree lily. I've also got a tree lily here which is a little bit smaller. These tree lilies will get up to about 2 meters max, whereas this Cardiocrinum can get up to 4 meters. So it's a real monster in the lily world. And as I say, it grows a bit differently to most lilies. So most lilies, they will flower every single year and they might get a bit bigger every year. The Cardiocrinum, it will just grow as leaves, so it will look a lot like a hosta. And it will stay like that for about 3 or 5 years. Every year it will build up the size of its bulb, and then eventually, once the bulb's big enough and it's mature enough, it will start to flower. So in the flowering year, such as this one here, a main stem will appear and it will grow up and it get taller and taller throughout the early summer. And then around June time, early July, you'll get flowers. So you can see the flowers on this one, they're looking really nice, and the scent is amazing as well. So I quite like the smell of lilies, but I find it a bit sickly sweet. This one has more of a spicy smell, so it's a really nice scent actually. I really like it. And the lilies flowers, as you can see, are really large. They're really huge flowers up here, and you can get up to 30 or 40 of them on top of the plant. Now my plant has been growing in a small pot 3 years now, and so it's really been struggling, so it isn't as big as it could have been. But if I had had this in a perfect growing environment, this would probably have 30 or so flowers on top, and it could easily be another meter or meter and a half taller than it currently is. So that's my Cardiocrinum giganteum. So there's two varieties. My one is the slightly larger one, and it's the one that has more of a green colour to the flowers, but there's another one that has more of a white colour, and it's just a little bit shorter, maybe just a metre and a half, 2 meters, as opposed to the 4 meters that this can grow to. So now that mine has flowered, what will happen is it will die off. So the Cardiocrinum, what it is it's a bit like an annual or biannual. It only grows from flowers and then dies. It doesn't keep coming back every year. But what it does is it grows for 3 or 4 years, then flowers, and then dies. So this has put all its energy now into flowering. It'll then produce lots of seeds, which look quite interesting. They kind of stick up a bit like candelabras on the top. Quite an interesting feature. I'll keep that all winter, as it'll look quite nice in the garden. And then the main plant will die, but at the base 1 or 2 little babies will come up. I can then separate them, and then after about 3 or 5 years they will also then flower themselves. So that's the Cardiocrinum giganteum. As I say, the world's largest lily. Quite an impressive plant when it's in flower. When it's not in flower, it looks like a normal hosta. Just interesting leaves, nothing spectacular. Although it can take, as I say, 5 years or so to get into flowering, once it flowers it looks really nice. It's completely unique, and it has an amazing fragrance as well.